first we will try and see as to how do you create segmentation. So first step is always to decide the most appropriate base, which is equivalent to a criteria on which you can segment your market, whether it is an income, whether it is a place where they stay, whether it is likes that they have or dislikes that they have, etc., or the culture or the societal aspects, etc. So the first step is to really decide the most appropriate base on which you will do it. There are 7 major categorization of consumer characteristics on which a market segmentation can be considered. These are the 7 bases for segmentation that one can have. Geographic factors, or geographic and to do with the place, demographic factors, so income and all, we will see that. Geo-demographic factors, so it is like both the above put together. Psychological factors, socio-cultural factors, user behavior factor. How does one behave? The similar individual behave differently. So this is on the user behavior factors. And benefit segmentation. So geographic segmentation. So this is geographic segmentation example. Segmentation variables with the example I have tried giving you. So on the left hand side, what are the variables under which the geometric segmentation is possible? Region, city size, density area and climate. These are the 4 on which, 4 geographic variable on which the segmentation can happen. Divided based on the location, people who live in the, what is the core assumption here is people who live in the same area have the similar needs and wants. Can also cover some regional differences due to the climatic condition, as we have moved forward and seen those other areas. Can also allow segmenting the market based on density, literacy, urban, rural. So there are so many permutation combination that is possible based on this 4 aspects on which segmentation, geometric segmentation can happen. Then comes the demographic segmentation. Demographic segmentation have little larger list of variables and their segmentation possibilities. So like if I say age, then age as a segment can be developed as age under 5, 5 to 11, 12 to 18, teenagers, or you can represent it like that, teenagers, collegians, professional institute students, etc. And it goes on till 55 and more you can do. Sex is male, female, transgender and all if you want to do it, but generally the segmentation is male, female, marital status, single, married, then you have various other subsets within that. Today what is emerging is a live-in as a emerging segment for many products and many services, etc. Family size, and then the size of the family wise you can segment. Income level wise, very critical, and per annum income of the family or of an individual earning member within the family you can look for. Earlier when there was a joint family, it used to be a per annum total family income. Now it is a per annum income of the earning member. That is what has been considered in the house. So that can go on in its own way. Occupation wise, you have divides like professional, blue collar, white collar, self-employed. So these are the way you segment your market. Education level wise you can do, religion wise you can do. So this is how, what you call this as a demographic segmentation. It has a long list, and these are the segmentation options. Geo-demographic segmentation, that's another third way of segmenting the market. People who live next to one another have similar financial stature, taste, means, preference, lifestyle and consumption habits. For example, residents of Malabar Hill or Banjara Hill in Hyderabad. What it is trying to say is demographic aspects, which is income or that status, etc., and club it with the geographic information, so that geo-demographic segmentation which emerged, which is either on the income level and another aspect of a geography that you see, together gives you one segmentation which is your targetable, identifiable, measurable, etc. So this is a psychological segmentation. We have earlier studied geo-demographic this thing. Now it's a psychological segmentation where variables are personality, psychographic, social class, etc. These are the 3 variables on which segmentation, such as if you know personality, then is introvert, extrovert, aggressive, compliant. If I look at myself, I am more introvert and compliant individual. Other may not be, you may not be. So that's what defines you, and that's what differentiates you, and that's what forms a cluster of a homogeneous people with the similar characteristics, and that's the appeal to the market here. If they can identify me using psychological segmentation, then they can align their product offering marketing mix accordingly. Psychographic, which is a swingers, straights, conservatives, status seekers, etc. These are all psychographic, which is more to do with the mind and inner aspect of the mind. So you can create a segmentation based on these aspects. And then social class, lower class, middle class, upper class, etc. On this also the segmentation have been done in the past successfully. We are continuing to understand that. Additionally, personality can also be based on animals, like XUV 500 or by Mahindra has portrayed a panther in their first ever advertisements, or geographical shape, like personality can also be like a geographical shape. Now these are all new innovation which is happening. It will be geographical shapes or various boxes, formations, or it could be on various other ways that you can do. Characteristics of each shape are determined and matched with the consumer traits and personalities. A brand like Charm cigarettes in India has used this approach. So Charm is very popular. Once upon a time a BD, later became cigarettes, and okay, nowadays probably not so popular. They created that magic by using a very personality dominant focus association of the product with the individuals. So let's move on to understand what this lifestyle segmentation is all about. Lifestyle is a mode of living, and helps marketers to understand those who are in the market in terms of their behavior. A Deo set pack of 3 for just ₹100 could be alright for specific set of few people with lower class psychographic traits like conservative outlook, etc. This is known as an AIO, an activity, interest, opinion, and add to that demographics really adds a dynamism to you're doing a psychographic segmentation. Activities like work, likes, entertainment, family, social, cultural, etc. Interests like job, food, media, sports, grooming, health. So what are your interests? Like what are your opinions? Opinions in terms of values, mottos, your community in which you live in, cultural, societal influences and bureaucracy within, etc. So these are all your opinions. To that, if you add demographics, it makes it very powerful. That is age, sex, marital status, income, education, occupation. So a few of this with demographic gives you psychographic this thing vis-a-vis the demographic being weaved into it, makes your segmentation very powerful. Socio-cultural, also known as anthropological variables, are culture, subculture, cross-culture, social class, family life cycle. People in certain cultural context will have certain choices for product, and so that's what, like to give you a very generalistic example, not necessary that you can call it this thing, but fish is very popular this thing across east, rice and this thing is very popular across the south, etc. So we all know all those aspects, and from there I am trying to derive your understanding that people within certain specific culture and context have certain specific preferences, and that itself is one of the socio-cultural segmentation point. And culture, subculture and cross-culture, since members of the same society tend to share same values, beliefs, customs, marketers use this as a segmentation approach. So all Christians probably will have the same values, beliefs and customs that they follow, for which they will require certain products, they need to consume certain things, and that's what looked upon marketeer as homogeneous aspect that they can identify, target, approach, etc. Marketers use widely held cultural values that they hope will be identified by the consumers to their advantage. So cultural values, like in India even after you retire, you don't say that you depend on your kids, and that's like unwritten culture, and that's where, as I said, HDFC Sar Utha Ke Jio campaign got a successful hit. So they approached the right set of people and they cautioned them that if you do not plan, you will falter, and nobody in that age bracket wanted to ever see those kind of a thing, and that's where they moved on and they probably got into buying HDFC Life products. Then comes essentially the social class. So social class also determines a segmentation opportunity. So when I say that, it's like lower class, middle class, higher middle and upper class, etc. So that's what I meant. So this determines whether they will like it, they will afford it, etc. So that's also one critical aspects of psychological segmentation. Then comes a very important aspect like family life cycle. So what is the life cycle that you are in as a family member? So there are life stages that is there on this x-axis. Y-axis has various parameters like age, the family status, etc. So that if you see that, you know, starting out and very starting of the young with toddlers, young family, single couple, no kids, kids have married and gone, and middle-aged families or empty nesters, they've retired also and the kids have gone and settled elsewhere, retired couples, kind of thing, older singles. So then the wife or one of them spouse has died and so that is what a life cycle. You go through this. So young savers, so young family, young saver, youth savers, current account, they operate only on current account, they will not have much to save. This is the class that say operate on loans, first time buyers, etc. Mortgages, loans and pensions and all. So these are the various conditions, various state that they will be in. How you identify them comes out. So this is a life cycle example of segmentation. Then comes the user behavior segmentation. So how the behavior, how the user behaves. So on that premise the segmentation has evolved. There is a usage situation, time, there is aspects like rate, the status, the loyalty, readiness and attitude. So like usage situation, whether it is used at home or given as a gift, your entire attitude changes if you are buying something for yourself or something to gift, etc. So that's what is important. Time constraints, advance booking needed to immediate future to urgently needed, usage rate, heavy, medium, light, etc. So how therefore the challenge of market is to increase the usage rate. Can you do that? But yes, you can develop your segmentation based on the usage also. Usage status, which is unaware, aware, interested, enthusiastic. So what is the state in which he is, that determines your segmentation. Brand loyalty, strong, medium to none, etc. Readiness and attitude. Attitude is very critical. Early adopters, enthusiastic, neutral, laggards, etc. Value seekers. So this is what will come as an attitude of the individual, which is all combining user behavior segmentation. Here, based on the benefit that you offer, you create a segment. What is beneficial to your target segment depends on their evolving need and changing lifestyle. Microwave oven, one was a status symbol, today it is an essential need kind of thing. Tata Salt Light is a now need for people who have a sodium or related hypertensions and all. So these are the example. Different brands can be introduced within the same product category, such as Colgate with complete care against cavity and Colgate gel for freshness. So you have same product but introduced with within the same product category you have introduced two different varieties, and so that is to appeal to a different benefit segment that consumer is looking out for your product. Performance can be converted to benefit also. Performance is another benefit. Once during initial days, Jet Airways started announcing after few months that their 99% departure accuracy rate, giving flyers an assurance that jet means time पे उड़ेगी, time पे पहुंचाएगी.